Hey guys, Jacob Howard here, and in this video we are going to go over some tips for your very first flight. I highly recommend watching this video before you go out and fly your first time with your real drone, because this will give you some good tips and practices to start out with so that you have less chance of crashing or hurting something or somebody. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you know your arm and disarm switch. This is extremely important. If you make a mistake or you need to turn off your motors, this is the switch to do it. In the course so far, we have taught you guys to put it on this switch right here. So I'm going to put that back and forth. This arms the drone, this disarms it. I know this seems elementary, guys, but you got to make sure you know where this switch is. And you have to make sure you know where it is while you're flying. So basically, if your fingers are on the sticks like this, you have to be able to have a finger ready to arm or disarm all the time. So in this situation, if I'm flying right now, I need to be able to have a finger ready to disarm that drone if something happens, just like that. So make sure you always have a finger on the arm and disarm switch so you can easily switch it in case you hit something or there's some kind of emergency that you need to disarm your motors. The next tip is to make sure you know what all your other switches do. For example, this right here is my beeper. So if I flip this up, the drone will start beeping. This is my arm and disarm, of course. So this is my switch right here for flight modes. So right now it's in acro mode. If I bring it to the middle, it's in horizon mode. And if I bring it all the way down, it goes into stabilized mode. So right now I want it all the way in acro. Okay, so now that we have the drone plugged in, we know our arm and disarm switch and all our other switches. I'm going to arm the drone and take it off and then land quickly, line of sight. So I'm not gonna be wearing the goggles for this. This is a good practice to kind of see how your drone reacts when you first take off. So I'm gonna arm the drone. And I'm just gonna take it off. And land it. So that just gives me an idea of how the drone flies. Right away, as your first flight, you're probably gonna be a little bit scared because it feels so different. But when you put on the goggles, you'll be able to experience it firsthand and you'll be able to have a better feel of how the drone is going to fly. So I'm gonna put the goggles on and you guys can follow along on your first flight as well. Okay, so I've turned on my goggles. I'm going to start the DVR and it is recording. I'm going to make sure my throttle is all the way down. I'm going to arm the switch. And then I'm going to take off. I'm just going to do a straight flight out, get an idea. I'm going to turn back around to the left, come back a little bit. I'm just flying low to the ground, nothing crazy. I'm just doing some nice long, wide turns. I'm basically doing a giant figure 8. And this is a great practice to do when you're first starting out because it gets you used to flying towards the left and towards the right. Okay, so I'm just doing some really easy flights here, just some nice practicing. Make sure you keep your throttle control down. You don't need to be flying high or fast or anything crazy. So I'm going to continue doing a few figure 8s. This is a really good practice to start doing. And you can see I'm starting to do these a lot tighter. So I was taking half the field before and now I'm just taking like 15 feet. So go ahead and try that out. Okay, so what happens when you start going too fast? This always happens on your first flights. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly kind of fast here, like 30, 40 miles per hour. And then to pull back out, you're just going to pull back, slow down the throttle. In this case, I'm going to turn around because I was coming in on that tree. And right like that, I've already slowed down. So you want to pull back on your pitch and lower the throttle. It's also really useful if, for example, you're going too fast and you need to come in for a landing, to start circling around the area you want to land. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to kind of circle around. As you're circling, you're able to kind of get in some better throttle control to where you can start slowing down, lowering the throttle slightly, and then you can see now I'm in a position to where I can land without crashing. The next practice I recommend is picking a place to fly to and then flying to that and just coming straight back. So I'm going to pick this soccer gate here on the left. I'm going to go right to it. I'm going to turn around. And I'm just going to come right back. You want to have landmarks on where you are because it's hard to spot you while you're flying. So I know we're in one of these middle trees here, so I can just fly to that location. It's always good to try and do hover tests and manage your throttle control. So I've pitched back a little bit, and I'm going to do just like a little bit of a hover. I'm drifting a little bit, but that's okay. Gives you a good idea of how your drone is going to react. The big thing about drones to remember is that little movements have big changes, especially when you're going fast. So like I'm going about 40, 50 here. I'm going to just move a little bit and boom, we can do a whole turn. And that's not even like max input on anything. It's really important to realize that your drone is going to react to everything you do. So just do small movements and try to fine tune your control. So I'm going to come back in for landing because our battery voltage is starting to get low. Currently at 3.6 a cell. You want to land at the latest of 3.5. So I'm pitching back here and just kind of hovering, and then I'm going to just slowly drop the throttle and disarm. Okay, so that's how you guys can do your first flight with your Hawk Pro. If you guys have any questions, definitely let us know and have fun flying.